How many of you still own your first car? I sure don't. It's long gone. But what if you owned your first car all the way back from 1984? And what if it was a 68 Firebird with the 454? I guess that's why I never got rid of it. Let's go meet Tim. What a cool guy.
Tarkington from Arrington, Tennessee.
You're kind of a car guy, huh?
Kinda.
All right, what is that behind you, year, make, and model?
It's a 1968 Pontiac Firebird. It has a 454 big block Chevrolet, bored 30 over.
Okay.
Has a Ford steel crank, Ford pistons, Eldebrock intake, Holley 750. It's got MSD, ignition, and distributor.
Okay.
And it's turning a turbo 400.
All right.
With a 2400 stall.
2400 stall, okay, all right. But there is something special about this car, right?
It was my first car. Got it in 1984.
I tend to hear things. Tell me the story on how you found it and got it.
Well, my mother drove the school bus, and I was looking for a Camaro, and I couldn't afford a Camaro, couldn't afford a Firebird, but she seen it sitting under a tree, had a broke flex plate. She asked if they would sell it, and she came back and told me that they wanted $500 for it. And so me and my father went out and looked at it, and yeah, of course I wanted it, but I didn't have the money. And so I had, 2 or 3 years earlier than that, me and a friend of mine would skip school and go to the livestock barn and buy bottle calves. We would bottle feed them and raise them.
Really?
Yeah, and so the first one I ever bought was it had grown up to be a big bull, so I took it to the cow barn and sold it for $385. And my mother was wanting me to get out of her car so bad, she'd give me the rest of the money.
So you borrowed $115, I guess, from her?
Yeah.
So you sold a bull?
Sold a bull.
And borrowed $115 and got that behind you.
I don't think I ever paid her that back.
What a stuff, that's unbelievable. I love that. Did you ever race this car?
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. When did you start making the changes to where it looks like it does today?
I'd driven it through high school. I'd already swapped the engine, took the 301 out, put a 350 Pontiac in it.
All right.
And a very big cam, but way too big for a no stall.
Yeah.
And so you'd have to kick it in neutral at the red light, because I didn't want to run in gear. And so I pulled it back apart and started working on it probably about 87. Started cutting on the front end because Firebirds were cheap, so you weren't going to mess with one of those. So I flipped the front end and did a lot of work I probably shouldn't have done on it.
And this
back
was
on it.
in 80, so how old were you at this time?
87, I was 20 years old. It sat in this barn in the shop for years after I got it fixed.
Okay.
I just didn't have time to mess with it.
Okay.
So it's been sitting inside most of its life.
When you're driving this car, do you listen to anything specific? Like, does it remind you of high school when you're driving it again?
Kinda it does, but it's got the radio I bought when that was probably the biggest purchase, was the Pioneer stereos.
It still has the same one?
and I put the same one back in it.
Did you?
Yeah, and my father thought I was crazy for spending like $200 on the stereo.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, and I probably would, because I could barely put gas in it.
So you said this was painted when?
1990.
1990. What's your favorite part about this car?
Probably the engine.
It's fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot of fun to drive.
This is a stupid question, and I don't know if you've watched the other ones. It's the last question I ask, but would you ever sell that car, this car?
I couldn't say I wouldn't, but I would really cry, probably, if I did.
That'd be tough to watch.
It would be tough, because it's been with me most of my life. It's a 1936 Chevrolet pickup.
You know, again, going back to these stories that I keep hearing, I heard that there was a story with a cross member, maybe. Is there an interesting story there?
Yeah, the cross member in the 36, I drew out on AutoCAD, and I sent it to a guy, and I think he water jet, and so I created the cross member, the rear one for the trailing arm suspension and the transmission mount. Me and William took it to the Hot Rod Power Cruise in Bowling Green. We drove it from here. Took about an hour and a half, as two kids would do. He asked me to get it up to 100 where he could get a picture of the speedometer. And I said, well, I've never had it on 100. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
So we got it up to 100. He took his picture, and then I told him, I said, you know, I still got some final welding to do on the front cross member of this truck.
Do you have the picture of the 100 somewhere?
He might have it.
I have it. And how long you had that one?
I bought that truck in 1996.
Oh, you had that. Wow.
Yeah, and it's set in my mother's basement till 2010, I think. So we brought it up here.
So this car you've had since 96.
1996.
Okay. So how is it that you hang on to things for so long?
I don't know. This one's been sitting for a long time
Yeah.
before I started working on it. And they're hard to find.
Sure.
And so you can't find them. And once you find them, you better scoop them up.
Yeah. And you did all the work to this one too, right?
I have done everything on this truck except narrow the rear end and the initial tune in the engine.
All right. And what does this have? Is this a small block Chevy?
It is a LS3 out of a 2010 Camaro.
But it doesn't really, you kind of did some things there to make it look a little different, did you?
It's I don't like the looks of the LS,
Sure.
so I put a big set of big block valve covers on them and mounted the coils up into the top of them. And now it kind of looks like a big block.
Sure. Well, Tim, I appreciate you having me over here. I think that you're the coolest. I love your story, and I cannot believe that you still have your first car. I don't think I've ever met anybody that still has their first car. So I appreciate you having me over.
Yeah,
Thank you very
you're
much.
welcome. Come back
Appreciate it.
anytime.
You bet.
Enjoyed it.
All right. Thanks. What is it about the Firebird for you that I'm sure that you love so much now?
Well, I do like the rear end of the Firebird. The tail lights and everything better than the Camaros. I think the two, the old classic Pontiac tail lights look better. I kind of like it. It's grown on me.
Yeah.
I still like those Camaros.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. But you don't see that many Firebirds anymore. A lot of people's turned them into Camaros.